Oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot. Okay, good evening once again. So yeah, we have not done a lot actually. So we are just discussing about the two ways on um how to submit our journal, how to find a journal to submit our manuscript. So there are two ways. We have the journal finder and we have the reference finder. So basically, we are just trying to explain how we can use our reference to find a journal. So I was saying that for this is a title, this is the title of this paper, Nigeria Head Malaria Council, What to Expect. And the name of this journal is what? Annals of Medicine and Surgery. So that means sorry, for this particular annals of medicine and surgery to actually publish Nigeria and malaria, something about malaria, that means they can accept this particular paper I'm working on also because it is also on malaria. So you can also see this one also. I think that's a website. So you can see something like malaria vaccine and future of global immune. So the name of this journal is Malaria Journal. So from that, you can easily tell that, okay, since it is more about malaria, you can easily submit your manuscripts there. So we also have something we call Journal Finder. So you can just press your Journal Finder here. Just say Journal Finder. So we have different type of Journal Finder. We have the Elsevier Journal Finder. We have the, if I click on this one, you can see it. You actually lead me to what Elsevier. So let me just click on Journal Finder of this one. So you can see we have Springer Journal Finder. Uh, we have the Elsevier Journal Finder. We have the Wiley Journal Finder also. We have Science Gates. Um, Actually, there is Wiley, but I don't know. I can't find it here. Anyway, so now let's just start with Elsevier. So let's just click on this. So let's look at it. How does it look like? Majorly, all of them they are doing the same thing. So let's say I'm trying to find a journal to publish my paper when I'm done writing it. So I can just do something like where's the paper? So I need to copy my abstract here. This is my abstract. So I need to copy it. So I can just do Control C, right? Go to my, because it said match my abstract, right? So I can just do Control V here. So let's find the journal that have the same abstracts. So I will just cancel this one because I need to explain some things that are very, very important. Please, I hope you can hear me. Please, can you reply with an emoji at least if you can hear my voice because I guess it is quite low.
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, great. So now, I hope you can hear me and you are understanding what I'm saying, sir. Because this part is actually very critical. It's very, very critical. So you can see when I match my abstract, right, I can say I have a lot of journal I can publish on. I can publish in, I have Ethics, Medicine and Public Health, I have the vacunas, I have Journal of National Medical Association, and I have Lab Med Discovery. I have those stuff now, but let's explain what do we when you do something like this, what do you understand by this one? Now let's just start with submission to acceptance. We have 2 days. What does this mean? Now, whenever you submit a paper, there are some people that we look through it before it can be published, right? So we call them editor in chiefs. So we now have chief editor. So the chief editor will be the first person to look through your paper. Okay, let's say the name of my journal is, or the scope of my journal is posting or is publishing anything related to malaria. Then you submit something related to typhoid or tuberculosis. So I'm the chief editor, will look through it. Okay, you are submitting something related to tuberculosis, obviously, and they will get back to you in 2 days. That's why they said submission to sorry, that's what we call submission to first decision. The first decision will be what? 18 days. That is after you get a message from the chief editor if your manuscripts pass the first test. That is, the chief editor looks through it. It may not be deep test, right? It will just be something that, okay, does this manuscript meet the requirement, the scope of this journal, and the entirety of this journal, basically. Not like they will check the grammar, not at the first instance. They will eventually, but that will be done by the other editors. That's the editors team. Do they call them editors team? I can't remember. Or the co-editor, whatever. Yeah. So the submission to acceptance here means that whenever it is now approved, I guess before you can get published as well. So now the site score. Let me start with impact factor. Impact factor is if you publish this paper, if you publish a paper in this particular journal, there is probability of 1% that you will it will be published. That means 1 in 10 actually. That's 10%. Sorry, there's 10% probability that it will be published. Yes. So you expect that if you publish in this particular type of journal, there's high probability that your paper will be rejected because 9 people in 10 people will have its paper rejected. Then we have site score. So after it has been published, there's 19% because that's like times 10 because it's actually graded over 10. So there's like, let me just say it's times 10, that's like 19. So there's 19% that your paper will be cited. When you publish the paper, a paper is usually cited when just like what do they call this thing? Is it SEO? Whenever I'm trying to look for tuberculosis on Google Scholar, there will be a list of some paper there because this one have 19%, which is quite low. It will be at the bottom. It won't be something you can easily see for them to easily cite. You get. So now let's look at this one. It has an impact factor of 3.3, that's 33%. So which is quite fair, right? It is even good, it's better. There will be a lot of journal that you won't see that will have this particular score. Then we have 55% side score. That means if you publish in this kind of journal, there's probability that people will see your paper when they are searching for something related to your paper, and then they can easily cite it. Then you can see submission to first decision is just 5 days. That means when you submit to this one, you get a reply that okay, maybe this journal passed the first test or not. So you can see we have 2 days or so. Then also we have impact factor is not known. So as a publisher, as a researcher, please try to desist from people that from journal that their impact factor is not known to the public. So you can actually see that we have submission to acceptance 17 days, which is quite small. So you can see all of these journal that have unknown submission to first. Please just desist from them. Look at this one. Please uh, don't even try to publish that. But there's another thing we don't talk about. So now let's look at this. They said open access. That means when if you publish if your paper is being published here, it's published by this journal, right? It will be open access. That means everyone, the public, can see all your content, all your research content. But you have to pay a processing charge. That's APC, article processing charge. Or I'll just they call it publishing charge here. Wow. Well, it is APC. Processing charge, publishing charge is more like the money they will use to publish down. And that's 1,640. I don't think an individual will want to post that, want to pay that just to post a paper. So, and that's why you see people applying for grants. Just imagine you have $10,000 grant or $5,000 grant. You can easily remove 1,640 to publish your paper. Do you understand? So, because it will be open access, can you see we have 35 for it to be open access? But this one they are saying that okay, if you cannot pay $2,460,000, you can publish it for free, but your content will not be open to the general public. Maybe they will just see the abstract and all, but in as much you publish it, that still works, you know. So the first thing you want to do is I don't want the gold access. So I just want to remove that. So now you can see all of the paper. So let me try to see something here. So if you look at this, we have 40 journals here. We have 40 journals here, but once I remove code access, right? So I have 15 journals. So you can see this one they have open access, but then they still have what closed access, but then it's free of charge, which is quite normal, right? Um, please give me a minute. Yes, someone, please, can you, please, who is there?
I want to say that I can't see your screen.
Oh, you can't see my screen. Okay, so sorry. Someone is knocking on my door, and I need to check out who the person is. I guess I'm actually using two screen, and I can see my screen on my second screen. So please, can someone confirm if it is from my end or if it's from my end?
I can see your screen.
So I guess it's from your end, Miss Ramat. So you can just log out and log in again. Okay, let's continue. Um, Okay, so let's continue. So we have all of this. They have both publishing charge and the open access and the closed access, right? So the same thing with this journal. You can see we have open access and closed access. So look at this. We have 18 factor. We have 18.7, which is quite high. That means if you actually publish your job here, your asset job, your manuscript here, there's a probability that it will be accepted, right? Then the site score is 35, which is quite okay. Then submission to first edition, which is quite okay. For me, and okay, let me try to look for another. This is actually so let's just say something like malaria. So malaria, let's search by keyword now. So let's search by keyword. So you can see it is giving me no matching journals, but let me put on this one. Let me see if I was having one. What's happening? Okay. So I just go with my abstracts. And anyway, what I was trying to do, maybe I'll just go with my abstract again. So you can see we have all of this. I think we've seen this before. So actually, I don't have this here, but in case you want to do something, there's actually they usually problem right the day they will actually the day it will take for them to publish this journal. But in this particular case, I can't see it. So how I wish I can see it. So I can explain it once and for all. Oh, I can see it actually. So there's two submit, right? So in case you see it when you want to publish your own, so it's usually advisable that you take anything less than 4 months, right? That's how many days? 30 times 4, that's like 120 days. Anything less than 4 months, but more than 2 months. So should be, if you are publishing a manuscript today, if you submit your manuscript to your journal today, so it should take at least 2 months, within 2 months to 4 months before it gets published. So anything below that, so maybe let's say you submit your manuscript today and a journal promise you that it will be posted in 1 week or in 3 days or 2 days. So those kind of journal are what we call creative journal. We still talk a lot about them today, but now let's just continue because we actually have a long way to go. So let me see. There's one journal I got bioorganic chemistry. So let's look at this journal. So I actually look at it in this afternoon. So now let's look at this journal. How does it look like? So you can see this is how a journal look like. It has a 4.7 impact factor, which is quite okay, right? We also have a 8.3 side score, which is quite okay also. So you can see now, let's say you are done writing. The next thing is you publishing it in manuscript, right? So the first thing you want to go and read is the scope of this journal, because you have to format your manuscript to the taste of your journal. So now let's look at this. They said 3 days to first decision, 27 days after review, 63 days to acceptance. So 3 days to align the publication. So this thing is very easy. So the first thing is it will first use 3 days. Then they will review it for 27 days. That means this 1 month, so 3 plus 27. So now it will take another 2 months for accepting. That is, these 2 months, there will be a lot of checkup, right? Using it will take a lot of several tests, several checkups by the editors, right? They will check for the spellings, the grammar, this the flow of those contents. They will check for the reference. Is it actually a right reference? Is it a real reference? They will check all of those things. So after that one, this is already 3 months. This is like 2 months. So that's like 3 months. So they now say, okay, after it has now been accepted, 3 days later it will be published. That means if you publish this particular journal, it will still take within 2 to 4 months, as I've explained. So this particular type of journal is best for you to is okay for you to publish your paper. So the first thing you want to click on, you don't want to click on submit your article, right? You have to click on guide your authors, which is very, very important, because now that I know that, okay, I want to submit to organic chemistry now. So the first thing is you have to check your aims and scope, right? Okay, and I publish a paper. Now let's just assume that the paper I'm trying to publish fits into the scope. But what is the scope of bioorganic chemistry? The scope is that it is only accepting paper or topics on enzyme catalysis. You can see it here. You have enzyme catalysis, you have bound transformation of enzyme, basically just about the biomolecules, that is like enzymes and natural products. Now just imagine someone who is writing something about nanoparticles, right? So if you publish it here, it will be rejected. So you have to know, okay, this is the journal I'm trying to, I have to focus on it, right? So then the next thing you want to write is you want to look at the peer reviews. Please, if you are submitting, if you are the corresponding author that is submitting to a journal, please can you see my screen? Uh, Miss Ramat, please can you see my screen now? Okay.
No, I can't see it. You can go on.
Okay, please just hear my voice. It is quite important, right? So when you get to the journal, when you get to the journal page, right, just read everything there, because it is very, very important. Now, you want to look at so you need to read all of these things, but then I want to show us the most important thing. So you can see we have all of these things that you can actually look at. So the first thing you want to read is what writing and formatting. Even though you've done all the things you're supposed to do, but then I can write the manuscript. But then because I don't know the journal I'm trying to submit to, I can just use any referencing style. I can decide to use Vancouver. But if the journal that I'm submitting to said no, I don't collect Vancouver referencing style. I only accept REE style. That means you have to change it. You have to format your manuscript. That's why it's very, very important that you actually read the rules and regulation or the formatting style of your journal before you submit to it. So that will actually take another round of editing. So now the first thing is, you can see they said you have to provide editable source file. And you see, that means in this particular case, you have to save your manuscript as well, .doc or in document file or in text file. So looking at this one, looking at my manuscript here, is in PDF. Can you see it is .pdf? That means if I submit a PDF journal to this particular journal, it will be rejected. Do you get? So I think I'll be faster now because there's no time and there's actually a lot to it. So you can see that they said format the same word file in a single column. Can you see? They said use spell check and grammar check. So if it's for the latest, you have to format this one. Now they ask for the title page. What's the format? What is expected to be in the title page? There has to be an article title. So if I actually look at mine, I actually have a title page. This is the article title here. They said you have to have the author names, the affiliation, and the corresponding author. So we have the sorry, we have the author names, these are the author names, the affiliations, and this is the corresponding author here. So can you see? So we get present permanent address. In our own, uh, this maybe not an address, right? But at least this is what we in case I want to publish in this one, I think after corresponding author here, I just need to add my what do you call it? I need to add the goodness. I need to add address here, right? So also what else? So after that one, that means these two. In this case, I don't need to these three, I don't need to add it here. So it depends on the journal. Can you see this journal? The journal we submitted to made us to write conflict of interest, funding, ethical approval. But in this case, we don't need it. That's why you need to format your manuscript according to the journal that you are trying to write for. So now they said you are required to provide a concise and factual which does not exceed 250 words. Now imagine you are just submitting without reading all of these things. So we can see it must not exceed 250 words. Looking at my abstract here, obviously this one should exceed 250 words. I guess it should exceed 250 words. So you can see that means you need to reformat it. It exceeds 250 words. So you have to read all of this. So I'll just run to it. They said you are required to provide within 1 to 7 keywords. Looking at what we did, how many keywords we have? We have one to 4. We have 4 keywords. That's good. So you need to read it deeply, right? But I'm rushing through it. So you can see we have the highlights. In case you are trying to highlight and stuff, you have to be in editable file, and it should contain 3 to 5 bullets, right? So we also have that in case you are adding a graph. So in case you are adding a mass formula, it has to be editable, right? It has to be editable text, not images. It has to be written in normal text, right? Not like you will use a graphics to represent it. No, you just need to write, you just need to look at everything here. So you can see maybe if you want to add video, you have to follow this instruction. If you want to do research, like you basically just follow this particular referencing star. They might actually have a referencing star. Let's look at the reference star here. They said by adding a number within a square bracket, I'm guessing that should be IEEE or Vancouver. I can't remember currently. So you can see we have the one with the square brackets, which we normally use. You know, there are some referencing style that actually have a superscript. There are some that have a normal parenthesis, normal bracket that we usually use in our normal day-to-day activity, right? But this one, they said the square bracket, they only accept paper in square brackets. So you can see this is their own style. Does not mean it is general style for all the papers. I hope you get that. Please, if you get that, can you plug an emoji? No one got that. Subhanallah.
So please, can you come again?
So should I come again over everything I've said or just this one?
No, 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 no. Don't be referencing to that.
So
Explain
we
the
have
fact that, like, I don't know if you spoke referencing styles before.
no, we did I did teach referencing style. Look at this referencing style.
Okay, check
Look
that.
at this one. Look at this one. Can you see it is superscript? Can you see? Can you see this? This is a
Yes, I
reference.
can see. Okay.
Now you can see the superscript. So that means if I submit this kind of feedback, it will be rejected with that journal because what they accept is the one with the square brackets. And I believe you should have seen something. We should have seen a referencing style with a square bracket before.
Yes. Yes, I have.
So basically, that's what they meant by that. Do you understand it now?
Yes, I understand.
You need to just read everything through and through, right? Now, let's say you are now done. You want to submit your article, right? Okay, thank you. Can you see my screen also, Sha? So now let's say you are done. You want to submit your article, right? You now click on submit your article. So basically, this is just very easy. It's more like you are filling out a form, right? So you want to log in. So there's something we call OSIT ID. So to actually get yours as a researcher, it is actually mandatory that you have your own. So you just write OSIT.org, right? So you can just create your own and just create your OSIT ID here. Um, so you can just register here. Just click on sign in and register. Okay. So you can just create your own here. Just say because I actually have mine. So you can just create your own. I think there is a way you can create it here. So after the class, I'll just send you a direct link on how to create your OSID ID. I actually have, right? So you can just say, okay, I think this is, don't have your OSID ID there, register now. So you can just click on this one. Then you can also, so let me just copy this one and send it to the group. Thank you. So you need it as a researcher, you need it. Uh, so you need it. I guess we've gotten that. We understand the. So now, let's say you are trying to submit a paper. So you have to log in using robots. You can log in via your OSIT ID also. So let's say you've logged in. So basically, I think I've actually teach us about how to submit physically. So submission is just like submitting registering. Right? They will just say fill up your basic information about yourself, maybe like your names or stuff like that. Then they will say at another, maybe the step two, they can say submit the abstract here. Then maybe this thing they can say write all your keywords here. And then they can say, okay, upload the editable file, that is the manuscript, the real manuscript. Then they can say, those like normal thing that's expected for everyone to know how to fill in, right? I can't take you to that step because, especially because we've done it last time, right? So basically, that's how to submit it. And I guess, do you understand it now before we move on to the next important thing? Please, I need you to unmute your mic.
Yeah, I understand. But I need to understand how to make keywords.
You don't understand what? Sorry.
Keywords.
Oh, okay. So these keywords here, let me show you mine. So when you say keywords, basically you just now look at this. We are trying to break the barrier of vaccination. Basically, we are trying to provide vaccination. Then in Nigeria, even if you provide a vaccination to deploy it, to the serving community is actually a problem. So we are trying to like provide a solution. So now the two keywords are what? Vaccination and Nigeria. So now look at this. Our keywords are what? You can see malaria, we have vaccination, we have Nigeria, then we have the name of the vaccine, which is called actual vaccine. Basically, by keywords is just like the major the keyword is just the keyword of your topic. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So now that we are done, it's actually advisable that everyone creates your OSID ID today, right? Once you create it, you can't lose it again. Trust me. So the next thing you want to do is now we have another journal called predatory journal. So there won't be there's no way there will be real, that there won't be fake, right? We have some fake journal. So how will you recognize fake journals? So I'm trying to open my notes on my phone. I would have shared it here, but it is actually a can I share it on my? It's actually a picture, so I don't know if it is professional of me to send it. Don't worry, I will compile. I actually have just a long one. Let me just explain it. I'll send the notes later. Right. I actually have the notes uploaded in my drive. So I will submit it. I will show you maybe immediately after we are done with the class. So how do you identify a predatory journal? So a predatory journal we have a large scope. Now let's say you can just see a predatory journal. They will say, I accept all papers in agriculture. Agriculture is actually very wild, very wide. I actually don't know much about agriculture, but I know even in university, agriculture is like a faculty. Then under agriculture, we have agriculture extension, we have agriculture economics, agriculture engineering. Like we have quite a long number of departments under it. So you can't just say I want you are accepting paper on all aspect of agriculture. That's quite too wide, right? So another example is, let's say you are accepting a paper in STEM. STEM is science, technology, and mathematics. It is very wide. Like STEM technology itself alone self is wide enough. Now imagine you are accepting papers in on all scope of STEM. That's too wide. Don't worry, I'll show us an example here. So we also have another thing. How do you understand? How do you know them? So the first thing I said was the scope of the journal is too wide. Now another thing is no transparency about the article processing charge. So which is the APC, or I think they call it publishing charge now. So now let's say a predatory journal will not tell you that, okay, you actually need $1,000 to publish this paper. Maybe later, maybe you've submitted it, then maybe they've reviewed everything. They will not tell you that, oh, you need $1,000 to actually publish this. So that's actually a predatory journal also. So another thing is they won't be transparent. Now, another thing, let me look at this. Okay, they actually have poor online presence. What do we mean by that? So if you actually search up a uh, a predatory journal, you won't be able to see them. Why? Because they do not have DOI. So DOI is digital objects. Uh, I know it's digital object identifier. Yeah, that's the full meaning of DOI. So they do not have DOI. Imagine all people have GUI. In case you don't know what GUI looks like, so looking at this paper now, because this is a manuscript, there is no GUI here. But if you look at Google Scholar, let's just go to Google Scholar. Let's go to Google Scholar. Google. So I'll just click on any random thing. Maybe I'll just click let me just say malaria. So let's just say malaria. So look at this. If I click on this one, Okay, wrong. Oh, this is a PDF. Okay, I will explain this. Please, you can see it has ISSN number, ISBN number. You can also call it ISSN number. But let me check for another one. Anyway, if you actually look through this paper, there will actually be DOI number. Just that I don't have the time. I mean, this is a paper. This is too long for me. But honestly, I guess you should know what a DOI looks like. Let's look. Let's check this one. Oh my goodness. Okay, we can see this is the DOI number here at the end of it. So this is DOI, that's digital object identifier. So we have our DOI there. So that means I can easily search this paper anyhow. I can just copy this paper, this DOI, put it on my web browser. It actually lead me down to this particular paper. But if it is a predatory journal, even if they have a DOI, if you actually search that DOI online, it will give an error. It will give because it is fake, right? They have a poor online presence, so and they are not well indexed. When they say they are not well indexed, you can see that when I this the name of this journal might be the name of this journal is FEBS, right? So he published this particular paper on Google Scholar. Google Scholar is just like a database, basically. Just like all journals can dump their paper there. So if you actually check, if you published in a predatory journal, if you check it on Google Scholar on all these widely accepted databases, you wanna see there. Maybe Google Scholar, what's the other one? PubMed, we have another one. Elite, Scopus, all of those. If you check it there, they won't be found, right? So the journal is not well indexed at all. So also, did not have ISSN number and GI number. I think I've explained that one also. Also, the officials of the journal uses email address of a free email supplier like a Gmail. I think what they are trying to explain here is that if you actually look through the journal Gmail or email, you actually see like it is just like normal one, looks like at gmail.com, which is quite ridiculous for a journal to be using. So you can see this one. If you actually look at this one should be like .org. So it is quite ridiculous for a journal to be using at gmail.com. So and that's one of the ways to actually to recognize that they are a predatory journal. Another thing is when you try to submit an abstract and the process look too easy. Actually, when you are submitting a paper, it is the process is too long. Not too long, but it is demanding and tiring, right? Because you will need to provide your basic information, move to the next step, provide keywords, move to the next step, upload your abstract, move to the next step, upload the title page, move to the next step, upload the full paper, move to the next step, upload all the author's information. Let's say you have 13 authors now have information, then upload, then confirm all of those things, they are quite demanding. But now just imagine you have a journal that everything can be done in just a page. That's another sign of a predatory journal. So you have to desist from that. Also, um, okay, I guess you can just look through some of this paper. So we have one, I think I can still remember. Direct research journal. Direct research. Mhm. Um, okay. I guess they've recamped because it's not looking predatory anymore. Another way you can actually recognize a predatory journal is by their design. Is by the design. Let me try to show on that one. I think I have it down here. Let me go for Matthews. Matthews what's Matthews journal. Okay. So now let's look at this thing. Just imagine. Look at I'm so sorry, but this is a predatory journal. It's as glaring as possible. Just imagine you will just enter your name, enter your first name, university, country, address, email, phone number, WhatsApp number. Imagine WhatsApp number. Then you will impute the title, then impute the file, all in just a page. Then you submit manuscript, and that's all. Ah, this is a predatory journal, please. And the effect of this predatory journal is you actually get an email that your whatever has been published, was that your manuscript has been published, right? You now have a paper to your name. But if it is actually searched online, it won't be found. One now, let's say you add that particular paper to your graduate school and they are trying to do some background check. They search for the name of the paper online, they will not be able to find it. That means you are lying, and it can cause a lot of problem there in the future. So you just want to desist from them, because just look at this ridiculous thing. It is too ridiculous, because look at them. Oh my goodness, God. Uh, this is an example. I hope we get that. So let me try to check for more example. I don't think I have, but there will be some journal that will say publish in just 3 days. I don't think I have more. Let me check the one I checked the other. This one. I know direct research used to be. Let me try to submit the manuscripts. So it wasn't like this. Let's try one of them here. I'm trying to check. I think they revamped it. It was not looking like this the last time I checked this PDT journal. Okay. So let's look at the index. I think I understand now. So when they say indexing means that the database they will post your paper to. Now imagine you publish your paper with direct research, and you can only find your paper in AJOL or JISC. We've been using different database, and I guess we used PubMed and what is it around Google Scholar the most in this particular training, right? There is actually Scopus also, which is quite popular. Now imagine, did not see all of those. They are now publishing your paper in a database called Ajol. Who will ever see your paper? No one. Imagine they are publishing it in JIS. So you have to check all through this thing. You have to check they are indexed in AJOL, in GISC. There is no Google Scholar, there is no PubMed. So if you look at this one, the one what's the name of the first thing that we were doing? Let's look at this one now. This FEBS. No, this one. What's the name of that journal again? Bioorganic chemistry or something. Yeah, let me just click on it. So now let's try to look at the index of this one. I'm trying to check its index. It should be somewhere around. So is there a search? So I'm trying to find the index here. So anyway, I can't see it actually, but I know this one looks reputable. So we want to desist from that, and I hope you get a glimpse of what predatory journal looks like, right? Do we all get it? Right? Do we all get that? Let's see where this one is. So that's where we call it a day or maybe a night for for medical research. So in our consequent subsequent class, it won't be a live classes anymore. It will be a class we all agreed on, a time we all agreed on to meet for our manuscript submission before the end of the year. Right. I believe by now we should be able to write a full community paper or full research paper activities because they are quite easy. So I guess so that would be all. That will be all from my side. Thank you for choosing RX Data Hub. I hope you refer your friends to come here in the next cohort. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. I really miss all of you guys. Thank you. I will work on your correction and your suggestion. Thank you so much. In case you have a problem or you run into a problem, you can easily come to my DM, to Miss Afsat DM, or you have a future collaboration you are trying to do. Maybe you are trying to write a manuscript, then you need a peer review, you need authors. You can also come to my DM and do stuff like that. It is easily accessible, right? So, and I reply as fast as much as I can. So thank you so much for joining. Have a great day, everyone. Bye. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.